got it on live.
Are we on live?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
hello everybody.
Hello, welcome. You're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibri the artist.
And Debbie LaPratt,
Hi.
the artist.
Yes.
And amazing Lawrence Gary.
You're watching live on YouTube, or goodness, WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. I'm messing up today. Can't do this today.
Okay.
Streaming live on YouTube, Switch, Twitter, and Facebook. Jesus. Forgive me.
Sorry, Roger.
If you would like to sponsor or donate, forgive me stuttering, but next episodes, please email us at WJZZCoolTVofficial@gmail.com. Also, if you have any calls or comments during this request, please make sure you call 313-355-6018.
You can actually talk to the artist.
Yes.
That would be so much fun.
The artist.
So we are here
Yes.
with Mr. Lawrence Gary, Detroit professional artist, professional comedian.
Yes.
All of that good news or good jazz.
And a dad and a husband and everything else. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. We're so excited, and the work is outstanding.
Thank you.
It
Thank you
is.
so much.
Yeah.
So, other than all of your mini shows, and we'll get into that, why don't you tell us about yourself? What type of art do you do?
So I'm an abstract artist, but I kind of named my own style, I think, and I call it abstract graffiti and abstract realism. Have you ever heard that? Abstract realism?
I actually have.
Oh, so I didn't
I've
make
never
that.
heard
So,
I've never
see,
heard that.
I thought I made that up.
You
I've
thought
not
you were
heard of
being
it being a coined phrase, but I have heard people describe their work that
That's
way.
abstract realism.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I do that too, and I guess I thought I made it up, but
But that's all right. We'll let you think you made it up.
okay, yeah,
That's cool.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Especially since she said it hasn't been coined.
Right,
So I think
okay.
I need to do that. I need to coin it. But that's the style that I do, and also most of my stuff, probably 99% of my stuff, is heavily textured. So I'm a texture abstract artist too.
Okay.
Yep.
So what got you into art?
I've been an artist since I was 4. I can remember that my deepest memories go to 4. You know, my wife can remember when she was 2, and I just don't understand how. You remember you were 2?
Wait, I can't even go back to that. I can remember I was in my crib.
Are you serious?
Yes, and I can remember the pictures on the wall. I can't tell anything else, but I can remember the. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is like a
4
deep-
is how
long as
deep
you
is
can
yours?
remember.
4 is my deepest.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
4, you think that's what you're saying?
I would say about that. I don't know.
Yeah. So I've been a sketch artist and drawing since I was 4.
Wow.
So
What did you draw then? Or did you like
when
to
I was
draw?
4?
Yeah.
It was dinosaurs and
That's really
spaceships
cool.
and stuff
That's
like that.
cool, though.
Yeah. And so I just started painting about 10 years ago. And what got me into painting was actually my wife. I'm going to talk a lot about her.
That's great.
So, you know,
His muse.
Yeah,
Shout out
she's
to
absolutely.
wife.
Yeah.
And happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
right. Happy
Yeah, thank you.
anniversary. How many years?
13.
13.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we've been married 13 years. We've been together 15 years. Married 13.
And you got
But,
2 darling boys.
Yes.
And she's
yeah.
got 2 older ones. Too.
Yeah. I have a 30-year-old.
He doesn't look old enough to have a
That's
30
my
year old.
first. Well, thank you so much. And I have a 28-year-old son.
Okay.
My 30-year-old is my daughter.
Okay.
And my youngest 2 boys, 7 and 4.
They are hysterical
Yeah.
and so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they love YouTube. So I was able to send a message real quick, so they might be watching on YouTube.
Cool.
Hey, Logan and Carson.
Hey guys. Hi.
Go to bed. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
So my
Hey,
wife.
hey, Miss Rose.
I drew a picture, and I just said one day, as I was drawing the picture, this would look good as a painting. And she said, paint it. I said, no, I'm not. I can't paint. I don't do paint. I know a lot of people think, just because you can draw or sketch or whatever, that it doesn't always translate. So she said, sure, you can paint it. I said, no, I can't paint it. And then I used an excuse. I said, plus, I don't have any paint. I don't have canvas, et cetera.
How long did that last?
A day. The next day,
I love it.
I
This is my
came
kind
home
of
from
woman.
work, and she had a paint set and a canvas, and she said, paint it. And I said, so trust me, the first one looked horrible. I
It's
tried
alright.
to paint it, and I made a lot of mistakes that you make when you first start painting.
But
as
you
far
learn.
as- yeah, outlining and et cetera, et cetera. But I just kept going, and I found my style. I was trying to paint portraits and people and things like that. And I just started getting comfortable and just painting abstract and
That's very cool.
abstract realism.
Abstract realism, yeah.
So I've been painting for roughly 10 years, maybe 11, but I've been an artist all my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, what do you want to be known for? That's somebody told me that, and that really permeated in my brain. It took me a year to figure it out. So that's a really powerful statement for any artist. What do you want to be known for?
It is, absolutely. It took you a year to figure it out, but you're trying to get me to answer it right now.
Well, I was doing it for how many years? Because I was switching from, I was all over the place.
Yeah, right.
So just put it back there.
Yeah, it is now. That's a powerful question.
It is a powerful question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hear about 6 months. I'm going to get a text message and go.
You were saying with developing your style.
Yes.
So how did this come about? Because you were saying that basically you were painting and just kind of got into the abstract realism. But, you know, I noticed that, like you said, your pieces have definitely
Texture.
a lot of texture. They pop out. A lot of them happen to be African American, you know, some type of way. Is that intentional, or was that just kind of trial and error with you?
Yeah, it was trial and error. The stuff that I was doing at first was just different shapes, and you know, I was looking at a lot of other artists.
You get inspiration from other artists.
Yeah, you know, and at first, when I first started doing it, I was, you know, I asked my wife. My wife is an art history major.
Oh, wow.
So so because she studied the masters and everything, I can't get away with anything. You know, no, that paint mark. She sees everything.
Because it's really good. She's a
been
good
trained,
mentor.
She's been trained to look at Leonardo and Michelangelo and stuff, and you know, I can't even make an excuse like, no, that's my style. It's like, no, brother, you finish painting that thing. Yeah. So I asked her at first, you know, because I was drawing inspiration off a lot of different artists, you know, and I'm like, is this even legal? Should I, you know, because I have a lot of canvases where it was somebody else's original art or concept, and I just duplicated it to see if I could do it.
Right, but that's kind of a trial and error, like a learning curve, I would think.
Then from there, I just kind of branched out and started, you know, the vision started happening, and I was getting my own thoughts and putting them down. And I would say the African-inspired stuff is probably a series of things that I did, because you know, that's what I brought here today. But I'm heavy into jazz paintings too. I have a lot of jazz pieces. You know, I've got a Miles Davis. Actually, I've got 2 Miles Davises. I sold one at a veterans art show that I did, and then I was interviewed by Glenda Lewis of Channel 7 News, and she said her mom is a friend of mine also. She hosted an art show for me a few years ago. Diana Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She said my mom wanted that Miles Davis. I said, well, tell her I'll do her another one. So I just did Miles a different way, and you know, I love Miles Davis. My 7-year-old plays the trumpet.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, he's been playing the trumpet since he was 5. And my 7-year-old loves Miles Davis. What 7-year-old will tell you about him? He can tell you about Miles Davis, his
really
work and everything.
Awesome.
And so, after I did it, I was like, I got to do another Miles Davis. And so I just happened to have another Miles Davis when she said, my mom wanted Miles Davis.
It's like, well, I happen to have one for you.
Yeah. So I do a lot of jazz-inspired pieces too. So I'm jumping between, I noticed lately I'm jumping between Africa, Afrocentric, and, you know, things like that to my musical pieces, jazz. I got a sketch that I just did of Billie Holiday that's about to be a painting.
That would be cool. Yeah.
So do you have like a backlog? I remember our conversation before. You were saying that you had your wife was making you get rid of.
Yes, that's the reason I started actually selling them, because just imagine this room right here. The room that I was working in was smaller than this, and it was paintings building up everywhere because I was just painting. I was just inspired. I didn't think I could sell them. And she walked into the room one day and said, "We can't do this no more. We got." And I thought she meant no, you know, not painting anymore. I'm like, "You let me off the hook." She said, "You got to start selling these." You know, I used to paint at my job that I worked at. The manager let me paint in the break room, so I'd be in the break room painting, and people would say, "Do you sell these?" No, I'm just painting. People kept asking me, "Do you sell these?" No, I'm just painting. And so my wife, I told her, I said, "People keep asking me if I sell these." She said, "Well, you need to start selling them." So she actually threw my first art show for me, and I sold a few pieces. And so from there, I said, "Okay, I I guess we're gonna start selling them.
Yeah.
But it wasn't intentional. It was like you said, it was a backlog. It was too many paintings
Yeah.
sitting around, and she said, "We need this room back."
Well,
Yeah.
but we have an artist that is actually, what is it, a long haul driver, like in a rig,
Mm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he paints in the hotels.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Nathan's brand.
Nathan
Oh,
Strat. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
And I asked him, when you're driving, do you sit there and paint? And he goes, no.
Oh no,
Sometimes-
while he's driving.
That way,
no.
but he sometimes he said if he stopped, he paints. So that's kind of really an interesting.
Great.
You know,
yeah.
you're on your break and you're painting, and he's
Yeah.
in the hotel painting.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah. And he is also a painting jazz artist too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Now, can you tell us a bit about the piece behind you? Well, the pieces.
You know
Yes.
what?
Which one? We'll start with the piece behind me.
Say
Or?
the cameraman with this one.
Whoa!
No.
The piece behind you.
The piece behind me. Yeah. So this one, the name of this one is We Three Queens. And so when I put the background down, I told my wife, I said, I told her my vision. It was like 2 a.m, which happens to me.
I was gonna
You
say,
know,
when do you get inspired?
2 a.m, 3 a.m.
Yep, I know.
I jump up and I'm like, okay, I got to get this down, even if it's a sketch.
Yeah.
So I explained or described the background to her, and she was like, oh, okay. And I always know when she doesn't get excited about something, it's like she don't like it, you know, because when she loves something, she's like, oh, wow. She's like, oh, okay. But that was just me explaining the background. Once I actually put it down, she was like, you know what? I actually like that. I didn't think that I would like these colors just thrown together like that. You know?
Yeah, I like them. They just
Yeah.
kind of, they work so well together.
And so I went ahead and I put the ladies down, and as I was doing it, there was no pattern or anything I was going by. I was just, okay, this color will look good next to this one. This color, this, and once again, talking about my wife, she has a way of, she looks at my art and she gets her own stories.
I like that.
I mean a literal story. She'll tell you about the piece, and I'm like, that may not have been what was in my head, but I'm like, okay, so this one right here, the way she described this one, this is the mother
Mm-hmm.
right here. This is the daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the granddaughter.
Wow.
And I said, oh, okay. That's not what I saw. This is just a short lady in my, in my mind. And they're all just, but yeah, that was her concept. And then the show, the art show, that we did, the Lathrop Village.
Lathrop Village, yeah.
A young man walked into the tent and did the same thing. He says, I see that one is like, that's the
You're
mother
kidding.
and that's the daughter. And then she looked at me and just did like this, like,
I said, I told you so.
I said, okay, yeah, but yeah, I call this We Three Queens, and it's just brush strokes as far as the, their dresses, and this right here is kind of like an abstract city.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I saw it when I was
Yeah.
done. I wasn't doing it
Yeah.
intentionally.
Yeah.
You want me to be honest with you? What that was?
What?
These marks.
Sorry, guys.
And these marks. This was after after I did a blue stroke right here,
Mm-hmm.
and I just
Wiping it
like, you know
off.
what? Let's wipe that paint
Let's
right
just
there.
wipe that paint
And I
out.
said, you know
Water.
what?
Like Bob Ross style.
Yeah. And I said, you know what? That actually looks good. So I just started doing it, and then once I had it down, I said, you know what? I can kind of make this look a little abstract, like a cityscape or something.
It does. You can see the cityscape like
To
Yeah.
me, it almost looks like a dock. To me. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. See?
It's wonderful.
I love that. I love. Don't you love that when somebody, looks at your art and
they
they,
can
pull out things.
they can- yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's so
That's
cool,
great,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And because my style is texture, I was going for thick strokes, as you can see. You can kind of see that through the resin, but it wasn't thick enough. So I came up with this. I said something's got to be bold. So I put actual jewelry.
I love the jewelry.
on the ladies. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. Because they have their jewelry, and I wanted to see the decision making behind that, and then also with the colors.
So once again, can't take credit. So I'll take credit for the pieces. I got those, but of course, wifey walked into the room while I was doing it and was like, "No, she's gonna get the shells.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I love it.
She's gonna get the beads right here because she was, the stuff us guys don't know.
coordinates.
Even
Yeah.
even artists, we were like, this is gonna pull this out, this is gonna pull that out,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna do this because I said, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, even though I think I can put colors together, you know,
It's perfect.
She's
she
a
was
great
yeah,
inspiration.
Yeah,
Right, great inspiration.
Because that, I mean, certain things could just, they could make or break a piece, or they
Right,
could change it.
right.
You know?
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And that it suits it. It just suits it perfectly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
is-
wonderful.
Wow,
Wonderful.
that's so cool.
We're going to take a quick moment to remind our viewers that you're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibri the artist, LaPratt, and our wonderful guest, Lawrence Gary. You're watching, streaming live on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We're streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you email us at WJZZCoolTVOfficial for any sponsorships and advertising, and call us at 313-355-6018 for questions for Mr. Gary. All right.
Thank you.
Right.
She
Yeah.
does it. She's got it so down pat. So good. Me, I
So,
stummer.
we were talking about this signature style and you developing it, and I wanted to get into this piece behind us. Vito can kind of get on the camera. I know viewers have been watching and seeing this big, beautiful piece of Africa behind us, which is textured,
Yeah.
but even around the background where it isn't necessarily a raised texture, you still kind of have this almost a stony texture to it.
Yeah.
Is
Right,
that
right.
intentional?
That was intentional. Actually, yes and no.
Okay.
It was the gray was like a darker gray
Mm-hmm.
that I mixed, and then I tried to mix it again,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't do the ratio the way I did the first time, and I put the next color down, and it was lighter. And so I looked at it at first. Every time I make what I call a mistake when I'm doing art, I try to think, okay, can I roll with this? You know, I've got paintings where I spilled water on them, and I let the water run down and went, because it just looks like, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So
Happy
it was,
mistakes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right. It was a mistake at first, and then I said, okay, and I took a palette knife, a plastic palette knife, and I just scratched it across, and so that's what I started doing. I was putting dark down, light down, dark down, light down, and as I saw it, it started to look like those old. Remember the elementary school picture backgrounds?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, when you sat
yeah,
in the chair, like, that's
Yeah.
what it started looking like. So I was like, I like this, and so that's where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, can you see down at the bottom? There is a little texture right down there.
Oh, I can see it right here. Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
we see him
yeah.
kind of here.
Here
as
So
Wow.
well.
that's actually paint. That's not the texture paste.
Okay.
That was paint where I
Color.
came across it and it was real thick, and I saw it and said, let that stay there.
Yeah.
And then the actual shape of Africa, I put in as texture. You know, once I had that gray background down there, I just drew it out with a white chalk pencil, and I had to do it and blank it out a few times because I was like, that's not the shape of Africa. You know, that's not the shape of Africa. And I wasn't really happy with
South
that.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you can see, of course, I was reminded by someone that Madagascar is out of place.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Madagascar should be lower. Yeah, it's a little too high, but I was like, well, at least you know it's Madagascar.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
so I had back to that show that we just did. I had another gentleman come into the tent, and he said, "Oh, I love this." He said, "But you know, Africa has a whole lot more countries in it than that." I said, "That wasn't my intention. My
Yeah.
intention wasn't
Just
each and every, you know." So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Right.
It was just. So there was a series that I was doing, and it was called Broken Pieces.
Mhm.
And it started off with jazz musicians, and they were just, you know, it was just pieces. They weren't all the way together. So I might have an arm and then a piece that's
Oh, I
broken
like
and then
that.
another
I
arm.
like that. That's
And
really
you saw
cool.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, So
Yeah.
I called those Broken Pieces. The jazz series was called Broken Pieces. The band's all here. So
I like
after I
that.
did that, I started doing a whole bunch of stuff, Broken Pieces. So this was Africa. This is my Africa Broken Pieces.
Okay.
I call this The Land is Gold.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's the title of that. The Land is Gold. But I did that in my Broken Pieces. And if I remember right, it's 15 pieces in there.
Wow.
And the reason I know is because as I was painting them, I was like, man, I got like 14 pieces to go. You know? Because once you start painting that texture, it takes a lot of
Yeah,
paint.
you gotta
to
Yeah.
actually,
level.
Now, do you have to keep
Layer
going,
and
or
layer
can you
it.
stop it? And
It's 15.
All
yeah,
right, you're
it's
right.
15. So with the texture, once you get it on there heavy,
Mhm.
it depends on how much you want it to stick out. Now, if you notice, Africa is kind of flat, and I just wanted to put little shapes in it with my knife, and then the piece that I guess we're going to talk about that soon. I made sure that her hair was really thick, so I
Right.
used a lot more texture on that. Plus, I knew I was going to resin it, and once you put that resin on there, it kind of takes a lot of the texture away. But yeah, these are my two biggest pieces: Africa and We Three Queens. The Land is Gold.
What do you like to do? You like to do
Man,
real
let's
big,
go.
or do you like to do what is your like favorite? Have you found, or you don't care? Or?
30 by 40 is kind of I got a lot of 30 by 40 sitting around the house. So
Okay.
30 by 40, and then this is a 36 by 48, I believe. Yeah, this is 36
Powerful.
by 48,
Powerful
and
piece.
I love those two. So this is a 30 by 40. This is a 36 by 48,
Okay.
and I've kind of gotten comfortable with the 30 by 40s, especially if I'm just doing them, because the 30 by 40 canvas is a little cheaper than
Yeah.
the big pieces. It doesn't matter if it's a commission, because
Right.
they're giving me a deposit or whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's just
Right.
something that I'm doing on my own, it's out of my like this is out of my head. I'm like, yeah, let me go get a 30 by 40.
But it's big enough to make a statement in the
Makes
room
them-
still. And
Yeah.
I actually want to show this.
You're gonna move it.
And they're heavy. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
this
kinda-
is the texture makes it very heavy. You got it? Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
kinda hold that
We'll kind of hold it.
so they can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up there. But you guys see that it's nice and
it's
shiny. Can you tell us
texture.
about this one? I want to drop it a little
Oh,
bit.
let's
Yes.
just like sit it right
yes.
here on the.
So
Here we go.
yep.
All right, we'll hold it like this.
So she's called Shades of Beauty, and I did this in 18 by 24. It might have been something like 16 by 20, about 5 years ago. And I sold it. I'm not even going to tell you what I sold it for, because it's But I was in love with it, and I was like, you know what? I should have done that bigger, and I should have done this or that, and
Well, you
so-
learned from your first.
yeah. So I did it again. I actually just finished this, like this morning.
Oh my
this,
God.
This just finished curing this morning.
Oh wow!
And,
Just in time.
Yep. And I did it especially for this show.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Yes.
Oh my
this
God.
is-
Thank you.
yeah. If when I brought these pieces in, if nothing else was gonna go in here, this one was. 'Cause I'm like, this was especially for this show.
Yeah.
But it's called Shades of Beauty.
It's
The hair
gorgeous.
is heavily textured. As you can see, it's kind of like a 70s throwback. The
Yeah.
70s art. That's how I kind of look at it.
I love the texture. I love texture.
Thank you.
And it's
Mm,
hard to
mm.
tell from the camera angles, but this is a lot of number one metallics, but purple. From the camera and from a distance, it all looks black, but you can see all the glimmers and shiny,
Right,
and her
right.
hair
Yeah,
sparkles.
and you can see like
and in the
glitters.
background, I love is just this mysterious purple.
So let me tell you about
Yeah,
that.
tell us about the mysterious purple.
It was by mistake again. I discovered
There's
I
no
was-
happy mistakes. There's
I was-
always happy
yeah,
mistakes.
I was putting iridescence on something black, and then I resined it. And when I resined it, that's what happened. But I don't know if they'll be able to see it on the TV. Because you're holding it like you are right now under that light, it's purple. If you turn it a certain way, you're going to see green.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Try to tilt it towards you, Calibri. Can't. Yeah. But yeah, if you actually, it depends on the way the light hits it.
That's
That iridescence under
can
that
see it. I
under
can
that
see it
resin
all right here.
changes color.
Now I can see it in the hair,
Right.
but I
Yeah.
just mean because it's been hanging next to me the whole show, and I
Yeah.
just love this purple lady or purple diva.
Yeah.
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 Like see,
Staring.
like here, I see the different colors. When you move back, you can see. Almost looks
Yeah.
like like a rusty kind of brown and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And I gave her those beaded earrings.
I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah, you guys again can't see, but these are all of his work is texture. So not just the side from here, but her earrings are actually beads. These are all
All real beads. Yeah.
She killing it, y'all.
Yep. Shades of Beauty.
Yes.
She is
Shades
gorgeous.
of beauty. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, she is heavy.
So this is how I do my art.
All right. You can do it.
I see purple.
Oh, I see purple now.
Like I don't know
Oh my
what
God,
you're talking
I
about.
see
I see
purple.
purple.
So you know what? If you were sitting like where I am, as I'm doing this right here, as I'm changing my viewpoint, it's the color is changing.
Oh wow, I can see
I
the
like
purple.
the purple.
Yeah.
I love the purple. I can see the purple
Beautiful.
now. Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
You can even see it on the bottom. That is so awesome.
Okay, you want to put this one up?
Sure.
Just because the artwork is beautiful. We usually don't spend this much time even talking about the artwork.
No, well, thank
These
you.
are just
Thank you. I'm honored.
gorgeous.
You gonna hold that? You guys got that?
Yeah. Okay.
Can you guys see
We
it?
swing
Yes.
him around this way. I just like the camera angle
Oh,
from
that
there.
is that's really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we swing him this way?
No,
You
leave it
wanna
right
try
there. I think it's
Alrighty.
great.
Can you tell us a bit about this piece? Because this one is a lot different. It's textured in a different way, but it's still the surface overall is much smoother than the other pieces that you brought today.
Yeah. So this one I haven't given a name. It's the Untitled Mask. So I guess that's the name.
Okay.
The Untitled Mask. And this one is probably the most tedious because, as you can see, all those beads, they're
I was gonna
placed in
say-
there one by one.
Oh yeah.
Now, I placed these one by one right here to
Mhm.
lock these in. And so these I was able to kind of just pour in and smooth out where I wanted. But all of these, this is one by one, by hand, and weave it in there. So,
I can see that being.
Swing that so
There
live
are-
you see too.
The what?
The live.
yeah, there are
Which one, this one?
hours and hours and hours put into this one. The actual paint up under it was fast, but everything else took me a nice bit of time.
But
to-
it's just
yeah.
it's
It's
fantastic.
worth it.
I love texture. It's like
absolutely
all
worth
the
it.
colors and all the textures and it's just.
And this is my favorite piece. in my
Is this your
collection.
favorite
This-
piece?
This is actually my favorite piece. Probably because I put so much into it. But yeah.
Now, was this your logo? Could you tell us the
Yes.
name for your company? Sorry.
Yes. So my company name is Intervision Artworks, and that is actually officially my company LLC, Intervision Artworks. And yes, this is the logo
I
for
love
for
the
my
logo.
company, Intervision Artworks. Yep.
That is
Now,
really.
what made you come up with the name Intervision Artworks?
Got it. So just the stuff that I see is, you know, I
Oops.
said this.
Sorry, guys.
You know, this stuff that I see inside of me, you know, Intervision, and I'm trying to think of what to name my company. And I'm like Intervision. But my favorite music artist, Stevie Wonder, he has he has an album called Intervisions. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I mean, I love Stevie, and you know, let me see if this is legal. So, but you know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And so I said, you know, it's Intervision. I can be, you know, like Stevie, and I don't mean that
And
like
Stevie,
I know I
mean,
cannot be like
he
Stevie.
alright,
but-
Stevie, these are the eyes, Stevie.
Yeah,
You
right.
can't see.
Right.
I say that too because I love that album, and
Mhm.
I went through a period where I needed to create, like after stuff with my husband, but I needed to create, and I found myself because I didn't know about the album. You know,
Mhm.
you hear about the hits or whatever, and I kind of stumbled upon it, and I just put it on, and I was playing, and I was painting just to it, and painting it would just go over and over, and I was crying. I was like,
Oh
I
my
don't know
God,
what was
that is
coming
like
out,
so
but
cool.
it's
Yeah.
the perfect album. Like Stevie,
Yeah.
you did your thing,
Yeah.
and to come up with it visually and inspire visually, I think it would be appropriate. I think he would be flattered.
Yeah. Well, it's my legal name for my company, so you know,
It's-
I did my due diligence, and you know, so, yeah. And you know what, Stevie? Not trying to be funny, but I am trying to be funny. Stevie could actually get a feel.
I was just gonna
literally
say he could
of
actually
this,
take
of this painting
and actually,
yeah.
That's cool.
you know,
yeah.
because
Stevie,
he's
come
yeah.
check him out.
Man,
That's right,
that
come
would
check
be
it out.
wonderful.
Come
That would-
check him out,
That's right.
Stevie.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, because that is very textural. You
Yeah.
can actually,
Yeah.
that would be really cool, wouldn't it? You never know, you might get that phone call.
Oh, that would be
Oh
wonderful.
my God.
Well, we're going to take a moment real quick just to remind our viewers that you're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with
Debbie LaPratt,
Calibri
Calibri
the
the
artist.
artist. and our amazing, our
Now you
amazing
stuttered.
guest, Lawrence. So
Thank you.
welcome,
Yes,
welcome,
yes,
welcome.
Mr. Gary.
Thank you.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. You're watching again on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. Email us at WJZZ Cool TV Official for sponsorship and advertising. And viewers, Facebook Live, everybody, if you would like to call in with questions for Mr. Gary and his beautiful artwork, call us at 313-355-6018.
So if you got any questions, call us. We'd
Yes,
love to hear
yes.
from you.
Yes.
So,
We'd love to hear from you.
what exhibitions have you been part of, or what shows? Where?
My first one was in 2016, and it was called. That was the one that my wife, when she kicked all the paintings out of the house. It was called an abstract conversation.
I love that.
Yeah, an
Where
abstract
was it at?
conversation. It was actually in Farmington. It was at a friend of mine. It was at his studio. He owns Detroit DJ Entertainment. Shout out to Chuck.
Hey.
Shout
yeah.
out to Chuck.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Chuck.
So he said, "Hey man, come. You come into my studio and do your thing." And
I love it.
then he opened up his doors for me, and we had about 20 people come through there, and I was like, "This is cool.
This is so
20
cool.
people." I don't count the friends and the family, so we probably had about 30 people come through there. Sold a few pieces and everything, and I was.
That is like the absolute best when you sell that first piece.
Yeah.
It's like you sit there and you
Yeah.
doubt yourself until that person says, I'll buy it. And you're like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm curious, what was the content of that? I know you're saying your stock, but the reason behind the title for that exhibition, because I love the titles
like
for
the
your
title.
exhibitions.
I was trying to be deep. I was trying to sound deep, instead of
It sounds
this needs a
deep.
title. Our shows have a title. It's like abstract conversation.
I like that, though.
I like that, and it ended up being, like I said, my wife having the conversation with everybody, explaining the art. I was thinking they would come and ask me, so what inspired this? How did you do this, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what was going on in my head when people came in, because some of the art I had it wasn't like this where you could see, oh, that's Africa,
Oh,
or
okay.
that's a lady, or a mask. It was just
Abstract.
yeah, abstract. So I figured people would ask questions, So I was like, then I'll have an abstract conversation with them about,
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
and so
that.
my next show was it was called Captured Beauty, and it was a bunch of paintings of ladies, just abstract, kind of like this.
Okay.
These ladies would be in that
Okay.
if I had that. It was it was just pictures, abstract pictures of the female figure, the female face, and so it was called Captured Beauty. Trying to be deep again.
I like that.
I captured her beauty on canvas. And then my next show was a year later. It was in 2019, and a friend of mine, we just talked about her, Rochelle Riley. She said, I'm going to throw a art show for you. I said, okay. And we did it at the old WJR studio
Okay.
on Jefferson,
Mm-hmm.
where they used to shoot the scene. You
Yeah.
know the scene? You
Yeah.
ever seen? No. See,
Yeah.
yeah.
heard of
You
it.
just you look young, but you have an old soul. So that's why I'm like, yeah.
You
But-
don't know which questions you know. Do you know?
yeah, it's
I
like the scene, but you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
the scene.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and so her and Diana Lewis
Mhm.
from Channel 7 News, they actually co-hosted the show for me.
That is so
She
amazing.
introduced me to Diana Lewis that night, and
I'd have been just so thrilled.
that one was called The Sounds I See,
Oh.
and that one was heavily my jazz thing.
Was it your
art
jazz?
show.
That would be
Yeah,
a
it
jazz.
was- Yep, and what I did, that's where I had the broken pieces,
Mhm.
the bands all here. It was a whole series. There was a trumpeter. The trumpeter now lives in Washington. It was a trombone player. I think the trombone player lives in Florida now. I shipped those pieces, everywhere. I think I still have the guitar player,
Okay.
but most of them were jazz inspired pieces, and it was called The Sounds I See. And building up to that, as I was painting all of those, I was just putting on certain songs,
And you were just painting to the music.
and I just let that
And you
song.
just
I would
feel
put
it.
that song on repeat, and that was the song. So,
I love it.
the guitar player is called Down to the Bone. It's a jazz group called Down to the Bone.
No.
Yeah, so I just let that play, and I painted that. And there's one there was an Erykah Badu song called "Didn't You Know." I know you know that. Yeah. Right, now, I knew you know Erykah Badu. It was called "Didn't You Know," and I named her "Didn't You Know," and I just painted whatever song was going. I
That's
just
so
let
cool.
let that go.
It's
So
like
it
you
was
let the
called-
music just kind of guide you.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
really
So it was called "The
inspirational.
Sounds I See," and the last one I did actually was in it was Memorial Day weekend. It
Mhm.
was a veteran. Only veterans were on the show, so
Mhm.
all of us artists were veterans. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and we did it to benefit Project Brotherhood Resolve, which is a organization that rescues homeless and
That's really great.
suicidal veterans. Yeah, and so I did that show this past Memorial Day weekend. So
Wow.
yeah,
I just
Where did
wanna
you paint?
remind viewers to, you have the link on your page, but you can tune in because that actually made the news, that exhibit.
Yes,
pretty
right,
big deal.
right,
yeah.
Where you donated your proceeds.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
To
Right.
veterans.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
And check it out because Project Brotherhood Resolve. Will you be doing more with them in the future?
Yes,
or?
yes, I
Yeah.
will. We got
Yeah.
some shows coming up, and the Memorial Day weekend show is going to be a annual thing, and he invited me back.
That's really
for
nice.
next year.
So, do you have what you're gonna paint? Do you have any idea, or you're still not
You
sure?
can't give it
Or
away.
just-
you know what? I have no idea as
Okay.
far as new things, but whatever we have in inventory, we'll go in
We'll
there.
go there?
Yeah, go in there again. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what did you paint for the veterans? show?
Specifically, this one actually went into the veteran show.
Mhm.
I specifically did this to get this ready for the veteran show. Miles Davis. I
Okay.
did the Miles Davis one that I actually sold. I did that specifically for the veterans show. And there was another one I sold. I call her Elegance in the Storm. I think you saw the picture on Facebook. There's a young lady her back is turned.
Mm-hmm.
There's an umbrella up over her. The umbrella is pearls.
Ooh.
So that was my texture on her. And she had like a wedding dress on. Also inspired by my wife. The day that we got married, it stormed that morning. I mean, it was pouring. And I know her. So I said, oh my gosh, she's probably going crazy. So I called her. And I said, are you okay? She said, no, it's raining. I said, we had planned to do an outdoor wedding.
Uh-huh.
But at the last minute, we changed it. But she was still upset that it was raining on her wedding day. So I told her, I said, so, honey, you know that they say that if it rains on your wedding day, it means that you'll have a long and prosperous
That is such a
and
beautiful-
fruitful wedding. Like the rain is,
Right.
nourishing.
Yeah.
And it calmed her down.
That's so cool.
Later that day, it was as if it never rained. I mean, the sun was out. It wasn't even wet. The ground wasn't even wet.
Wow.
And so one day I just thought about that, how she looked that day, and I painted that picture, wedding dress. She's even got the mole on her back, And
Yeah.
she saw that and was like, oh, I know that one's me.
That
The
is so
mole on the
cool.
back.
That is so beautiful.
But I wish I would have had that, but I sold it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had that one. Yeah.
Well, what the hell?
To show it, but yeah, we sold that one at the veterans event. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
was there other artists there, or just you?
Oh yeah, there was a photographer there, and there were a few other abstract artists there. Yeah,
So they were all veterans.
all veterans.
That's
yeah,
a really
I think it was
great honor.
6 of us on the show.
That's a really big honor. That's
Yeah.
a really.
You said
big
that
honor.
you're a veteran as well.
Yes.
Right.
Do you find that art helps
Oh,
you or
absolutely.
even other veterans?
Yeah, absolutely. From the ones I talked to at that last show, they said the same thing that I said. It's de-stressing. I don't know. You're artists, both of you. I don't know if you get the same thing that I get when I'm painting, especially if I'm trying to do a clean line or something.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything but what I'm doing,
Mhm.
or I'll mess up. So
Right.
so it takes everything off of my mind. I can't think about anything else. My brain won't let me.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I'm not thinking about bills. I'm not thinking about these 2 boys knocking at the door. Daddy, what are you doing, Daddy? I want to paint too. It's totally de-stressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you throw some music on it. And
Oh, yeah,
Just get it in the flow. So
That's
it
right.
absolutely helps me. I can't say that I have any PTSD
That's
like
good. Yeah.
some of my fellow brother and sister
Mhm.
veterans. If I do, I just handle it different. I don't know. It's not severe. I know that.
Right.
you know.
Right.
So, you know, I know I've talked to a lot of them, and they said it really, really helps them.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
So do your sons help you paint?
So, you know, I try to include them and make sure that, you know, the art comes out of them. My 7-year-old, he exhibits it more than my 4-year-old. My 4-year-old is the rough little kid. He's
he's the little, he's
yeah,
cute.
yeah, he's the jump around, flip around,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
karate kind of guy. But my 7-year-old he's an artist.
Okay.
So every time I start painting, Daddy, can I paint too? And you know, sometimes I just want to dial in, you know, and
I don't
know
need you here helping.
He's a talker. He asks questions. How do we do this? How do we do that? So you know, I don't want to discourage him either.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm up at 2 a.m. sometimes when they're sleeping. I can do my thing. So he does come in and help me. You know, I try to get him away from my canvases, so I'll give him his own.
Give him his own.
And think, he'll do that and leave me alone. But
No, he wants to come
so
up.
Daddy, look at this line. Look at this. Oh, that you know. But
I love
yes.
that.
Now my other son, like I said, he's the rough one. He just wants to stick his hand in some paint and put, and I do that. I'll put Carson, put your hand in here, and bam, good job. And he'll go.
He's fine.
He'll go about his
That's so
business.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we mentioned earlier that you are also a professional comedian.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the balance with that? How does
Yes.
one do both?
Yeah.
And how does one even go from
Perfect.
comedy to
Oh, yeah.
art?
Perfect. So now I can be funny.
Okay. Okay.
Look, Slay
You
the
just
Dragon.
popped the Altoid.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
Slay the Dragon. I'm sitting up here talking, and this whole time I'm like, man, I'm talking. I hope my breath don't stink talking across
Oh,
the room.
Lord.
So, yes. Now, what was the
Real
question?
quick, I wanted to start over for a second
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
I wound up following you on Facebook
Mhm.
randomly.
Mhm.
I really don't even know, but you were funny. Like
Yeah.
I look at people's little stuff and I'm like, oh, you're funny. Like
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I like my timeline to be lively.
Yeah.
He be having me cracking up. Like I saw that he was an artist, but I didn't see the work. It was like I knew you were funny first, and then you posted like, here's some of my work. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dang, he cold, you know? But you are hilarious.
Thank you.
tell us your
How-
stage
like, what
name,
is
your
the-
other name.
Yeah.
So my stage name is Double J.
Double J.
Double J. Yeah. That stands for Just Joking.
Oh, I like
I
that.
like
Yeah,
that.
stands for Just Joking.
Double J.
And I'm telling you, I be trying to be deep. I told you. So when I first started doing clean comedy, about I've been doing comedy for about 23 years
Oh,
now.
really? That's cool.
I started doing clean comedy about maybe 15 years ago.
Well, what is
Yes.
clean comedy?
We were calling it Christian comedy,
Yeah.
but then I thought about it and was like, why Christian comedy? I mean, the Christian bus driver doesn't call himself a Christian bus driver.
No.
You
no.
know, so I was like, it's just comedy, but
Right.
it's clean, so you can bring your kids to my show.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
what I mean by clean comedy. But like I said, I'm a Christian comedian at first, and Double J was gonna stand for Joking for Jesus. Like I said, right. I'm trying to be deep. And so a friend of mine, he's passed away, but he was a music producer. He was bringing me on stage one day, but he was kind of practicing backstage how he was gonna bring me up. And I didn't tell anybody what Double J stood for. I planned on doing it that night.
Right.
And he was like, Double J, introducing, put your hands together for Double J. And he was like, Double J, just joking. And I was like, just joking. He said, yeah, what did Double J stand for? I said, it stood for Joking for Jesus. He was like, man, if you don't sit down somewhere. He said, your name stands for Just Joking. And I was like, oh my God. So, and I have a production company called Just Joking Productions.
Okay.
Where, I also write plays and direct, plays, etc.
I didn't know that all about. Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, he's got all these hidden talents that we
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't think you should go on stage and do some painting and tell some joking?
Tell some.
and-
Oh, see,
Yeah.
you don't start. I'll steal
Ah.
the idea.
Roast the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Roast the people painting.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the guy sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, so Yeah, Double
Oh,
J.
shit. What did I do?
Double
I'm
J
sorry.
stands
I'm
for.
sorry. This
Live,
thing
baby.
keeps just
We're
going.
just joking.
I don't know. It just started going
Real
off.
quick.
We're just joking.
Real quick.
I don't know.
That's right on time because we just want to remind our viewers that you're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Use the expletives; they enhance the sentences.
I don't know if they caught it. She said
well.
it so quick.
Well, that's what makes it down and dirty. We have.
That's
We
right.
just get right down to the
Yes.
crazy stuff.
Yes.
You know.
Like, subscribe, share, comment. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope.
Yeah, you
all
know
that
the whole-
good
you know the
jazz.
Greg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here with wonderful artist, comedian, Mr. Lawrence Gary.
Yes.
Joking for Jesus.
No.
No, Double J.
Double J.
Double J. Double J.
Oh,
Just man of many talents.
thank you. You know, funny story. I don't know if we have time, but funny story is that I know people are gonna see this and be like, "This guy's crazy." Lawrence and Double J are two different people. Like when I go into Double J mode, you know, it's like I'm a totally different person.
That's so
The
cool.
pitch in my voice changes everything because it's a stage personality.
Right.
You know, and Lawrence is the guy that's a introvert.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I always say that I'm an introvert with extroverts gifts.
Okay.
You
'Cause
know.
I don't think you're an introvert at all.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
can tell just how he's kind of carrying. Like you can tell it's there.
yeah, and that's Lawrence. You know,
Yeah.
because
That's
Double
Lawrence.
J is like
All right, come on, let's
jumping
get
up
Double
and,
J
and pulling
now.
out altoids. Like yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is there. It's funny. I don't know how that works either. I have no idea how that works because I walk on stage. I'm
And
backstage.
You just turn into the whole different person.
Man, I'm backstage. I'm nervous. I mean, I'm back there like, you know, I'm so nervous. I get the mic, first laugh, and it's like, oh, there's that other guy. My wife has even said it. My wife has said, that's not you up there. It's just that, you know, that's Double J up there. And then when you get off stage and you're at home, you're Lawrence. I said, that makes me sound so crazy.
No, I think it's
Doesn't-
really a great talent.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
It's
To be
cool
able
to have a persona, and really, I'd encourage other artists, not
That's
necessarily be a comedian, but if you can develop a persona, almost put your shades on, because many artists are introverts.
Oh, a lot
Yeah.
of them are. They won't.
No.
Yeah, they don't
kind
like
of
to talk
battle
about
with the being crazy. I think you have to be able to tap into
Right, there he
those.
goes. Look at him. Look at him. That's Double J.
She said, put your shades on.
Oh, he's putting his shades on. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
So what's next?
Yeah.
So what's next? Right now, the next plan is September 25th. Actually, I'm doing another exhibition.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be my 50th birthday party
Well, happy birthday.
slash
Really?
my thank you slash my art exhibition. I have a show that I was supposed to be doing, and the plan is for it to be an annual show featuring myself and other artists. And it's called I got everything nailed down. It's called the Metropolitan Artist Expo,
I like that.
or MAX.
Ah.
Being deep. See, I told you I've
Max.
been trying to be deep. MAX. Yeah, it's called MAX, the Metropolitan Artist Expo. And so I'm going to be doing that. That's going to be the kickoff for that night. So it's going to be
Are you
me.
gonna do your comedian stage too?
No, I'm going to have live entertainment though.
Okay.
I've got some friends that play, and I'm trying to get my son ready to do, because my son has not played. He has not played in front of anyone yet, except for family at Christmas and stuff like that. I'm trying to get him ready. Right now, he's learning "Lean on Me" on his trumpet. Oh man, when he dials in, it sounds
Just like his dad.
yeah, it
He can
sounds
dial
semi
in.
good
Yeah.
when he dials in.
Cool.
So that's going to be in
Where's it
September.
gonna be held at?
It's going to be in Southfield.
Okay.
The location is a friend of mine named Bobby Green. You see, I looked at Bobby Green. Bobby Green was he was a member of Enchantment. You know, the group Enchantment.
No, I don't know that.
You remember the song Gloria?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's Sunshine.
Right,
has
right.
faded away. Enchantment made that song. They're a Detroit group.
Okay.
He was a member of that group. He owns a studio called World of Entertainment. These guys owe me something because I'm plugging all their.
Oh, did you guys hear that?
businesses.
You hear
Detroit
that?
DJ Entertainment and
That's
World
right.
of Entertainment, and we're going to be doing this at his location in Southfield.
You'll have to let us
Yep,
know. We'll
that's-
have to.
Oh, absolutely!
promote
I'm
that
absolutely
for you.
going to let you know. Plus,
Yeah.
plus, I'm the only artist on the show so far, and I want other artists on the show. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we
Well,
look
we
at
know some.
Debbie LaPratt and
Hit 'em up.
and Danahan. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. He came and helped me. All of a sudden, you contacted me on Facebook and says, "Can you tell me about how to do an art show?" He came and he helped me set up
Yeah.
at Palmer Park, and then we went over to what is it, Lathrop Village.
Yeah.
And he used my walls and set up, and he looked like the most professional person there.
It was great. Yep, I had walls in my tent and
That's
everything.
right. You look like really.
I had
cool.
never done a fair,
Right.
art
Right,
fair,
art
where
fair.
with putting the tent up and everything. And yep, I came over and met her at Palmer
Yep.
Park, and I was like,
Yep,
okay,
that's
I'm
how
going to
you
help
do
you
it.
put yours up. That'll help
Yep.
help me know how to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did a really good job. It
Yeah,
looks
and I
really good.
appreciate your
Yeah.
help.
It was, hey,
And your
I appreciate that.
tutelage. Yeah.
That was
Cool.
so cool, yeah.
Okay.
So, all right.
Well,
Where
we're
can
gonna
we
be
meet?
wrapping
Where
up.
can we get you at? Where can we
Not
find-
yet.
Oh,
Not yet. 'Cause we want to
Okay.
make sure so you guys can get that and have your pencils ready.
Right,
for
get your
for it,
pencils
yeah.
ready. So write
But
this down.
If you have a positive note or a message that you could share with anybody in your shoes or just period, what would that be?
So you know what? I was thinking about this because I was asked this question by a young man last week. He had me on his podcast, and he said, "What kind of advice would you give, other artists, or say it was an artist just starting out, or whatnot?" And once again, I'm going to talk about my wife, but this is not going to be the most positive thing about her. She knows it too. But my advice would be do it.
Yep.
Do it. Now, my wife is a perfectionist, so sometimes that stops her
Because
because
she's got that fear.
what she does is she tries to put a list together, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. She tries to make sure she's not putting the cart before the horse. But sometimes that'll stop you.
Yes, it will.
Sometimes you just gotta do it.
Just do it.
Just do it, and then in the midst of it, get your stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I would say. I would tell, if you want to do it, do it.
Yep.
While you're doing it, get your business plan together, get your, have your finances right, et cetera, but don't sit and see something and say, I want to do this, but, because you'll overwhelm yourself and you won't do it.
You won't do it.
So
Yeah.
paint the painting, write the play,
Yeah.
write the book,
Do it. Just do it.
make the molds,
Yeah. Yeah.
put them in the kiln,
Yeah.
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 do the giant Danahan paint,
Yeah.
do it,
Don't be scared.
yeah.
Just step outside your box.
Yeah,
I always
the
say,
trailer will
build it
come.
and they will come.
That's right.
It's my theory.
Yeah.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah.
Have you ever been discouraged as an artist or comedian?
Yes, as a comedian, yes. As an artist, no, and that's probably because I had no expectations.
Okay.
As a painter, I didn't get in it to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get in, for any of that. The only time I am discouraged is like if my wife sees something and goes, "Oh, okay,"
And you know it's
Yeah,
not.
and I
good
know,
material.
because she'll see something like that's banging. Like what she said about that, she's like, that's banging. That's, but if she saw that and just went, okay.
So what do you
then-
do when
then-
she says that?
Oh,
you go back and fix it, or do
No,
you-
I make her tell me what's wrong. I don't accept that
Oh, okay,
because I know
okay.
her.
All right.
It's like no, what's wrong with it? And then I have to invite her in
Okay.
because she knows I'm sensitive. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my.
Right.
So I have to invite her in, and then she'll tell me. Because if she just starts off, then I'm getting defensive. Like, well, I'm not done yet. So the only time I would maybe, and that's not even really discouraging, because she's helping me.
Right.
I know if she loves it, then somebody else will love it. Now, as a comedian and a playwright, yes, I've gotten discouraged because when you first get into that business, somehow or another, I don't know why, we think in about 2 or 3 years we're going to be famous.
Oh, okay.
So when you get to your 10th year and you're still doing local clubs, or the farthest you've been is Cleveland, then you're like, hey, what's going on? But you have to talk to people who are in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Harvey didn't get his big break till he had been doing comedy for 17 years.
Oh, really?
Bernie Mac didn't get his big break until he'd been doing comedy for 25 years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Red Fox wasn't famous right off the top.
Right.
There are those guys like Martin Lawrence
Mhm.
who are rare. think Martin Lawrence did comedy for 4 years and boom, he took off.
Right.
That's rare.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I've gotten discouraged as a comedian, actor, playwright, etc., etc. And it was only because I felt like I should have been farther than what I am. But you know, on another positive note, you know, I'm heavily spiritual, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. He guides my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand when I do get discouraged because I'm not where I want to be, that I'm just where he knew I would be at the time that I'm there.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that, it helps me because I'm like, okay, he knew I would be here, right here. So if I trust him and he's guiding my life, it'll be all right. But you have to keep reminding yourself of that because a week later, I'm like, why am I still here?
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful note to end on.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Oh my God, we're so excited.
Would you mind sharing with our viewers now? Where can they get in touch with you to buy your beautiful artwork?
So you can get in touch with me on Instagram, Inner Vision Artwork on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Lawrence J. Gary. I also have Inner Vision Art Facebook page. You can go to my website, lawrencejgary.com. And let me give my phone number. No, I don't know.
We'll share that on our page
Hey, baby,
too.
what you doing? Well, yeah, those are the places that you can reach me.
And we'll share it on our Facebook page.
Inner Vision Art, INNER Vision Art.
Yes.
Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I'm so glad we was able to meet you.
Thank you all for tuning in.
You know,
Yes,
I always say
this
it was
was
a
great.
meant to be thing.
Absolutely.
That's what I really
Absolutely.
do. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
Good night.
We still got 3 minutes. It's supposed to be-
No, we're done.
No.
We
They
actually
just put
wrap
us
up
on
at
the-
8:55.
Did he